What's going on, folks? It is Geeked Out right here on DevTown Radio. I'm your man, JQ. This is Free.
Yo!
And this is Chandler.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you hear that?
Yeah. See, I got to wonder, Chandler, what's with the look? What's with the Neanderthal look going on right now?
I'm in hibernation mode. The con season was over with when we got back from Brazil, which was the last time I saw Barber. Mm-hmm. And basically, I've gone into hibernation mode until the con season starts up again. I put the sign up that says, "Don't wake the bear." And trust me, you won't like me if you wake me up early.
Well, okay. See, back in the days, there was a con season. Now it's a con calendar year. So when does your con season start?
My con season starts the last weekend of January.
See, there you go. Before it was like June, July, August. Now it's like January to December.
You got that right. So believe me, I enjoy that what is about a 30-day period of time. Mm-hmm. About a little more than 30 days, about 40-day period of time where I'm able to try to catch up on my sleep, catch up on things I have to do. And then because we've been dealing with this whole Stan Lee thing where, we have all these items that were supposed to get signed by Stan, and unfortunately we lost him, in the middle of November, and now we're having to deal with getting everything back to customers, and it's the customers don't understand that we have over 500 customers to deal with, over 1,000 items to deal with, and everyone's going, well, why haven't I got my stuff now? And it's like, did you respond to the email? What email? I don't know what you're talking about. The email we sent out back on such and such date. Oh, I don't know. I didn't. So, it's that kind of stuff. And so it's just been crazy, chaotic. And
I mean, I hate to say it, but people need to just be more understanding.
Yeah, more patient.
You think? Yeah.
It's like, okay, think about it. Like, let's say somebody in your family passed away, right? And then you were supposed to give something to somebody. You're supposed to give something to somebody, and all they do is like, "Oh, where's my thing? Where's my thing? Where's my thing? Where's my thing? Where's my thing?" It's like, dude, I just had somebody pass away in my family. Like, dude, can you like chill out?
Oh yeah,
can you give me
the day that he passed away? The day he passed away, I had people going, "So where's my stuff?" It's like, you got to be kidding me! Seriously, you're gonna sit there and say, "Where's my stuff?" when we're dealing with. I mean, I'm sorry. I realize you had no personal connection with Stan Lee. I did. Sharon did. We felt a huge loss when we lost Stan. Mm-hmm. And, we're dealing with those emotions and everything. And then what do? We have customers that have zero emotional connection to the situation. And they're like, where's my stuff? Why aren't you getting it back to me? And it's like, we're working on it. And you're not the only customer. We have over 500 customers that had sent in stuff. Now, just think about that for a moment, having to deal with going through the inventory. And it was funny because I actually got a text message from John Romita Jr. today because he had two friends that gave us items to get signed by Stan. Mm-hmm. And he's going, Chandler, out of curiosity, what's going on? My friends were asking where their stuff is. I said, John, first off, did they respond to the email we sent out? He's going, oh, I don't know. And I said, he's going, I thought you would just have that stuff put off to the side. I said, no, we have over 1,000 items that didn't get signed by Stan. So everything is all together. And I said, this is what I need. I need an email with their name, what their items are. And he's going, well, don't you already know what the items are? I said, John, I have 1,000 items that we have to go through. Mm-hmm. And do you want me to have to go through each and every one to look at the back of the board and see, oh, well, that's not them, that's not them, that's not them, that's not them. Or it would be easier to say, listen, they sent in a Journey in the Mystery such and such, or they sent in a Tales of Suspense such and such. That way we can sit there and look for those covers. Oh, okay. Nope, that's not them. Flip through. Here's one. Oh, yeah, here it is. And it makes it so much easier. Communications, that's what it comes down to. So anyway, that's my rant.
There it is.
I'm in hibernation mode.
Bears, right? So I didn't know this. Okay, so James Hetfield, from the lead singer of Metallica, he goes hunting all the time, and he said that certain times of the year, if you hunt bear, you can't shoot the bears coming out of hibernation. Do you know why?
Why?
It's because they're toxic. Because the whole season, all that urine and everything is still in their bodies because they're literally sleeping. right, for like 40 days or whatever it is, and so their bodies are actually toxic, and they actually have to flush all that out before the meat is good.
Yeah, I believe it. I
Yeah,
absolutely
I had no
believe it.
idea.
Yeah.
James
Wow.
Hetfield, rock on, baby. So
Wow.
So basically, I'm toxic.
you're toxic right now, and he's hangry because he hasn't eaten all day yet.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah. So anyway, hey,
So anyway, let's
it's
go back
2019.
Yay!
Hey! All right.
So we're
2000
starting.
God,
Once again,
where
guys.
did
This
2018 go, man?
I don't know. This is Geeked Out, guys, on DevTel Radio. We're trying something new for the new year. You're gonna see a little bit more cool stuff popping up on your screen and all that good stuff. So sit tight. We're gonna
Find out who's out there supporting us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
find out who's supporting us. And,
Exactly.
You know, I'm looking forward to this year because last year, you know, that was our first year. It's like anything else. It's like a freshman in college. You
Yeah.
know, you have that year of learning how it's supposed to work in college and stuff like that. Now we've kind of gone through that learning year, and now we can really get to the meat and potatoes of what's going on and talk about some really cool stuff and you know, finding out what our capabilities are and what we're going to be able to do and the information we're going to be able to bring, and we're going to make this really cool. So for everyone that's out there, stay tuned because this is going to be a fun year.
Anyways, this is gonna be a great show, guys. We're gonna try and start this out hot. And you know what? Just as of yesterday, the new Spider-Man trailer dropped.
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yep. And
What are your thoughts?
Honestly, okay, I'm gonna start because I'm excited because I haven't actually seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse or whatever. I haven't seen that yet, so I gotta go see that in theaters.
You and
Don't
me, bro.
Stream it.
You and me.
Go to the theaters and actually watch it there because I heard it's really good.
Well, heck, it got it. What was it? It got was it a People's Choice Award or?
It got some. Yeah, I think it was nominated for a bunch of awards. I don't know.
Well,
what
not
it's
only
actually
was it
picked up.
nominated, but it won. Was it a Golden Globe or something like that?
Was it Golden
Oh,
Globe?
I don't know.
This past.
Whatever
Yeah.
show that was whatever major award show that was
it
on.
got Best Animation,
I think
right?
it was Golden Globes, and it won for Best Animated Film.
I don't know. So okay, wait. You didn't see Into the Spider-Verse.
I did not yet.
Neither did I.
Not yet.
What?
Hey,
know, what kind of nerds
I've been in
are you?
hibernation mode, dude. I've been in hibernation
I thought
mode.
you were gonna go watch Aquaman and Spider-Man in like the same weekend, didn't you?
Well, that
Yeah.
was the plan,
That was
but
the
I
plan
fell
until-
asleep.
Right until the bed
Oh,
said,
yeah.
"Come here."
I made it through Aquaman and I fell asleep after Aquaman. It's like, I think that was the weekend after I got back from. As a matter of fact, it was the weekend after I got back from Brazil,
Yeah.
and so my body. By that, I went and saw Aquaman that Friday night, and by Saturday, my body went into hibernation mode.
The red light turned on. Yeah, there it is.
just keep rubbing it in that you went to Brazil without us. Just go ahead and keep
Yeah.
rubbing that in.
Rubbing that in.
Oh, well, let's see. We got Brazil coming up. We got Germany coming up. I'm talking to people in Australia, talking to people in China, talking to people in France, talking to people in Spain.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I'm going to be at a drawing table actually working. So,
Okay, back to it.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man Far From Home. What do you guys think? I mean, you said you wanted to get into it because
Well, the reason why is because the trailer itself, it didn't give away too much, but it got us excited.
yeah,
You know, there's what's his name, Hydro Man or whatever it is.
yeah.
There's him, and then of course, you know, when Jake Gyllenhaal got casted as Mysterio, everybody's like, really, Jake Gyllenhaal, like, you know, Bubble Boy, really? But he looked really good in that suit,
Oh yeah.
Mysterio suit.
With the bubble head.
Well,
In the commercial, he didn't have the bubble
He didn't
head
have the
on.
bubble head.
Oh.
Yeah.
He didn't
So
Wait a minute. Are you talking about in the trailer?
in the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've seen pictures of him with the
Yeah.
bubble head. Then.
yeah.
I guess I wasn't paying that close of attention as far as all those little details, but I know I've seen pictures of him with the bubble head
Oh
on.
yeah, no, and it looks great with that too.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like this, I think this is set just before, because you know, like when in Avengers 4, he was on the bus and he's like this, and the hair goes.
Oh, yeah,
You mean Avengers 3?
Avengers 3, yeah, sorry. And I think this is what they're trying to do is they have this storyline just before they get back to America on the bus on the way back.
You think it's before?
I think it's before, because if not, I mean, right now.
Well, this is my understanding
He's dust.
is this story is about Peter and his classmates going over to Europe.
Yeah, far away from.
And they're. I know at one point they're in the UK, and then also I forget what other location they're at. I know they're in the UK because there's a scene that shows the London Bridge. Mm-hmm. I think it's the London Bridge.
I think it's London.
But what I thought was interesting is the dynamics of it. Seems like they're now starting to add, or they're starting to create these relationships among all the friends and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you have Ned, who's getting in a relationship. You're seeing more of what's his name, Thompson.
Flash Thompson.
Flash Thompson. You're seeing more of Flash Thompson, his interactions and stuff, and you're seeing the relationship between Peter and MJ.
Yeah, and MJ, and of course Happy and Aunt May.
Oh, that was awkward. Okay, so
what's happening here?
I just looked it up. So Avengers 4 is coming out April 26th, my birthday.
Say it again.
Coming out what?
April 26th on my birthday. So
okay,
it's coming out on your birthday.
On my birthday.
Oh boy!
And we're gonna be in the middle of Foodie Fest. But anyways, I looked up the release date for Spider-Man, and that's July 5th.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and assume, and I hate to assume, but we're gonna go ahead and assume that Spidey comes back after Avengers 4.
See, okay, so that's your theory, but I'm thinking this movie was again because he's dust right now in the Phantom verse or whatever it is. Yeah. If that storyline doesn't, when he doesn't come back, I'm thinking this is before they went, and then.
But that's a weird.
No.
Oh, like Marvel can't do it.
No, like I'm telling you right now. No, this is all post. This is all post. And what was interesting?
Post Thanos?
I don't know if you saw this or not. This is how close you have to look. At one point, you actually see there was like a quick, if I remember correctly, there's a quick flash of Peter's passport. Yeah. Okay. Well, if you looked at that real closely, his birth date that's on the passport. Yeah. First off, the years are marked out, so you can't tell. You can't tell the time in there. But as far as the date itself, the date on his passport of his birth was the date of the original release of Amazing Fantasy 15.
Oh, that's cool. See, that's a good little Easter egg
which was August 1960, 1963? 2? No, 62, I think. 62. But it was so. Anyways, it's funny that you sit there and you see that date in August. That's his birth date on the passport. So I think that was really cute how Marvel kind of did that. They gave his birthday as to when the very first appearance of Spider-Man.
The birthday of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So
there's actually another. What's that beeping noise? Anyways, I'm tripping. There's another Easter egg in the trailer. It was kind of cool. So you see Ned, and then behind him there's a boat, and on the boat it says ASM 120. I think it's like 126.
125.
125.
Yeah.
You've heard about this. So it's a shout out to Amazing Spider-Man number 125, which is on the cover. You have the Hydro Man. Is Hydro Man, right? Hydro Man's on the cover.
Yeah. So. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's really cute how they, the little Easter eggs that they plan in there, and who catches what and stuff like that. So it's gonna be it will be interesting because, like I said, this is post Avenger 4.
Oh, okay.
This is
my theory's out the door.
4. Yeah. So it's going to be now. One thing that was actually interesting, and I was reading about this, is Happy comes rolling in with that check. Mm-hmm. You saw that, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you happen to notice who signed the check?
Pepper Potts.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pepper Potts. So the question now leads to, what happened to Tony?
Well, I mean, at one point, Tony actually gave her the company.
Well, okay.
Well, this is
okay, maybe.
She runs the company.
Maybe.
Or he's just not there to sign it.
Huh?
Or he's just not there to sign it.
Or Tony doesn't make it through Avenger 4.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's like I said, it's fun watching the trailers coming out. What about the trailer? What about the newest trailer for?
Oh wait, hold on. We look, there's other stuff in that trailer we're going to talk about. Hold on, you're rolling really fast here.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so
That's what happens when you wake me up early.
did you guys catch Spider-Man in the black outfit?
Yes.
And what was it? I think in there it was something about how I think he left on the trip leaving his regular outfit at home.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, so now he has these new outfits.
Which probably got supplied by Nick Fury that showed up in the trailer.
Nick Fury
so,
when he visits him. Yeah.
because he's like, hey, we got some work to do.
Yep.
Like, wow.
Yep.
So
and Nick is this is Nick's is this Nick's first appearance in Spider-Man?
yes, I believe so.
I believe so. Yeah.
Which is super cool. And because if you think about it, did they meet at all during
They have not
during
met.
Captain America?
They have not met
They have not met,
at
right?
all.
They what?
They have not met, right?
I don't think so.
Which is why
Because when you think about it, Spider-Man. Okay, let's think about Spider-Man and the Avengers. So he was in the Captain America movie, which he was on the side of Iron Man.
Yep.
Which was fighting against
Captain
Cap, and Nick was still, I think, at that.
Oh,
point,
he was in hiding, right?
He was in hiding at that point. So yeah,
As he does.
he was
As he always
supposed
does.
to have been killed,
Yeah.
and so it didn't happen in Captain America. And then Spider-Man was with Iron Man on I'm trying to remember the planet that they were on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Was it Titan?
they were on the planet. So and Nick wasn't there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe this is the first time that Nick Fury and Peter Parker end up crossing paths.
Wow, that's crazy.
So, or at least until we see what happens in Avenger 4.
Right.
True.
Because
Very true.
all this speculation can completely change once Avenger 4 comes out.
Gotcha.
Which is when? Your birthday.
April 26th, 2019. What you call it? So one last thing before we move on. There was this theory out because if you watch the trailer, it looked like Mysterio was actually fighting one of the big bad guys. Mm-hmm. So what they're saying is that he actually starts out as a good guy. Somewhere along the lines, he changed.
I think wasn't it the Elementals or something?
I don't know. You know what
I
my
believe
guess
it's
is?
the Elementals that they're dealing with that were the antagonists at that point.
Yeah, rock, water, fire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or
well,
go ahead.
And part of that comes from oh gosh, what is there's I'm trying to remember. There was another character. I'm drawing a blank now. Like so, I was reading some of this, and I was reading about some of the different Easter eggs and stuff. I'm trying to remember. There's another character that gets introduced in the film, and this character is part of what brings the elementals around. And then at some point, you're right. I think that's when you end up seeing the switch for Mysterio from being good to bad.
Good to bad. Here's my theory. Because of what Mysterio's powers are, remember his powers are just basically, it's all based on illusion and stuff, right? What if he's trying to make his name as a hero in Europe, and he's creating all these huge freaking like constructs to battle, right? And what if he gets caught and they're like, oh man, screw this, I'm going to be a bad guy. Whatever.
Could be.
I mean, again, we're gonna have to wait
how about
till your
this
birthday.
theory? I know. How about this theory?
No, July 19th.
Here's one though. Here's one that who knows? Maybe. Maybe Stephen Strange makes an appearance in Spider-Man.
Oh.
And maybe there's something that goes down between Steven and a Mysterio that causes Mysterio to flip at that point because
just gotta wait
their
till
powers are
Avenger
very
4.
similar, aren't they?
See, now we're just
are their powers very similar when you think about it? Steven and Doctor Strange and Mysterio?
Well, Mysterio is more illusion.
Okay,
and Strange is more
but point
time
is,
and matter.
both of them are based on magic.
Yeah.
How did see? Here's the thing. I never
Now
really
think about that. Wouldn't that be interesting?
They're like fighting. Yeah, that would be kind of cool. But here's the thing: I never I'm a huge fan of Spider-Man, but I've never really followed the history of Mysterio. All I know is that because how he's not really been in the comics for a while, right? Like,
well, he's been a part of the Sinister Six.
I know he goes back. He goes back.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that he doesn't make major appearances.
I mean, let's be honest. Once Venom and Carnage came in,
that was it. I was like,
everybody else is like, I guess we can bring the Goblin. I guess.
Yeah. So, my question is, how is Mysterio's powers generated? Is it through mechanics or is it through magic or what?
That I don't have the answer to.
See, this is a good part where the comments would come in.
I know.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come back to this subject next show.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
Do some research.
Yep.
All right. With that being said, you had one more thing you said. Did you see the trailer before I cut you off? What trailer are you talking about?
I'm sorry. What?
For what?
Before we move, because you were about to move on to another trailer.
Just Captain Marvel.
Oh, the last one.
Yeah, I mean she's had what? I think 3 or 4 trailers in
I think
the last
the third
month
one
and a half, 2 months or something.
Yeah, I think the third one is the last one. What they're saying.
Yeah,
the movie's coming out March?
Comes out late March.
So what's new in the latest trailer? I saw it, but I didn't finish it.
Skrulls.
Did they show Skrulls in the previous ones?
I don't know if they did, but I remember this last trailer. It was very much about the Skrulls.
Yeah,
about being in the water and
then.
Well, if you remember, one of the first trailers that came out, what was it, like 3-4 months ago? Mm-hmm. There was a scene where you see Captain Marvel just smacking a grandma lady on the subway, and people are like, "Oh my God, why would she be doing that?" And that was brilliant because it was just that little thing, and that left that impression in everyone's minds because people are going, "What the heck is that about?" And here it is through the last last 3 or 4 trailers, they've been now helping to tell that story.
Which honestly, they didn't need to. If they would have just left it with her just blasting an old lady, because honestly, it's a superhero movie. She's not a bad guy. So that there's something there that she's hitting, and it's not an old lady. But that's
just it. Is that I think this has been kind of a way of them rolling out who these characters are, who the Skrulls are, and when you sit there and you think, here it is, there's this nice lady, and she's like,
smiling.
"Hi, sweetheart,"
bam,
she's smiling away, and then smack, and then now you see her coming into her true character. That I think that was something that people are going, "Oh shit, I can't wait." Now I think that's created more excitement.
Oh yeah,
leaving it as was, people are kind of like, "What the heck?" But now it's like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to see how that plays out."
Like personally, because I know the Skrulls and all that stuff. Like when I saw her hit the old lady in the first trailer that didn't explain it at all, I was like, "Oh, that's an alien. That's a Skrull. That's a Skrull. Oh, sweet.
I know.
Right on." And so, if you're a fan of the comics, or if you've ever read, the Captain Marvel comics or anything, then you would know. But for the layman's that just watch Marvel movies, then they'd be like, "Dude, did she just
blast the grandma?"
That's elder."
By the way, I have it on good authority that there's another cameo in the movie by a comic creator.
Oh,
comic creator.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see.
Kelly Sue DeConnick.
Why'd you have to ruin it?
Because now you're gonna have to look for it.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so I'm not honestly. I'm not familiar with the name. What
Kelly Sue DeConnick?
Yeah.
Kelly Sue is a modern day writer. She's married to Matt Fraction.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. She's a modern day writer, and she actually took over Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, whatever rendition it is you want to talk about. But she took over the story of that several years ago, and she did a great job of helping to move that story along. And as a matter of fact, I was reading it was yesterday or the day before that the guys at Marvel Studios were saying that they did use a lot of her material to help their story.
It was basically Kelly Sue was the one that brought Captain Marvel back into mainstream. You know, because for a long time, we're talking like 20, 30 years, like nobody cared about her.
Yeah, because she was Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
She was the one who gave powers to Rogue.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
But when Kayla Sue came in, she created a storyline that really brought it back to the shelves. So that's why I'm glad that she's in it, man.
Well, that's what I've heard. I've heard that she has a cameo in there. So
that's cool.
That's awesome, man. That's
look for. I will say this: look for the hot redhead.
Right.
Look for the hot redhead.
He ain't lying.
We were just talking about this earlier.
But yeah, so I mean, okay, now that Stan Lee's passed away, and he's not, the king of cameos. He's not going to be able to do cameos anymore. Who do you think would be good to put
appropriate, like an appropriate?
Yeah, an appropriate cameo.
It depends on what movie.
Just basically every Marvel movie.
I don't think there's going to be one person that's going to be able to make cameos in every Marvel movie. Because there's no one like Stan Lee.
Yeah,
because he's the one that was the creator, or
But I think what you'd probably end up seeing is like either they continue with like an image of Stan somewhere that you just kind of like Easter egg, try to look for it,
like a picture on the wall or a bobblehead or something.
Exactly. Or you go with like let's say, I don't know, just somebody who created the character of the movie that you're watching,
like Deadpool, Rob Liefeld.
Exactly.
Well, I'll give you an example. I think some of the new characters that you're going to see rolling out, because this kind of now rolls into the subject of where are they going to go in the Marvel universe once they finish this chapter of the Marvel universe after Avenger 4.
So hold on, I'm going to cut you off there because that's another discussion that we're going to have later on the show.
That works for me.
So in the meantime, we're going to go to commercial. Ooh. We're going to go to commercial break, guys.
I can't wait to see who that first commercial is.
We are back, guys. And it's been a minute, so let's just get right into it. Our top 3 topics of the day.
Yes.
Usually I come to the board and I say, hey, okay, this is our 3 topics, but we're going to do something different. We're each going to contribute our own little topic. So you started off, Free.
Oh, I get the first topic. All right. Topic number 1, the significance of fashion in comics that translate into the modern age.
Let me call Vogue.
I know, right?
Well, the reason why I bring it up is because certain characters don't look right from the 70s to now. Like, for example, Luke Cage. Bright yellow. And they even touched on this on the TV series. Yeah. Bright yellow with the big floppy...
with the butterfly collar.
Butterfly collar, with that thing on his head.
the headband.
The headband, the silver headband. Now, they use fashion to actually bring in just a regular shirt. Because, he gets shot on all the time. So he can't be wearing $1,000 shirts. Right? He can't be wearing like the silk shirts and all that, being all like disco-y.
Yeah.
So he has
Why not?
Well, because it's expensive.
It's like, would you go to a battle wearing a Louis Vuitton shirt? I wouldn't.
No. You go in with
Gucci
a T-shirt or some camel gear,
like an overall coverall,
right? And so, like now, this has been something that I talked to Wendy and Richard Penny about, because they've been doing ElfQuest, the series ElfQuest, for 40 years now, and the fashion that they did back when they first started was translation to the era that they're in. And now, even though it's a fantasy genre, throughout the years she would change their look. They would still have the same characteristics, like facially and everything, but with beards and all that.
Yeah.
But she would actually use the fashion of the time of the era that she's in to translate into her comics. And so, what would be your guys' like transitions? Like say for example, Luke Cage.
Yeah.
What would be your transitional character that you've seen go through different fashions?
Well, let me even before I get into that, let me just start off by saying it's weird. It's a weird situation because throughout the years, let's just use Marvel for an example, right?
Okay.
We start in the 60s and we go all the way through now. That's what? That's 50 years of comics from Marvel. And the argument is always like, hey, and we talked about this a long time ago. How come these guys don't age, right? So the Marvel heroes are not aging, but the fashion is.
Yes.
Which is totally weird to me, right?
Right?
Because like back in the day, you have Spider-Man with his sweater vest and
yes,
necktie and button-up shirt, right? And then now he's wearing what, t-shirts and
leather jackets,
hoodies. He's looking cool and everything like that. But
even Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Right? You look at Tony Stark's fashion back when he first started to now where he's wearing suits and, nice Armani looking suits and everything. And he's got the different looking goatee and everything. So fashion has changed in comics, but the characters still stay at 25 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's something weird.
That's just weird. But in terms of characters, like what was a character? Oh, I got one. Dazzler.
Dazzler. See, that's a prime example. Yes.
Like look at like what. I know John Romita Jr. hates the character, but if you look at her, right, when she first came out, she was wearing a one-piece suit with bell bottoms and roller skates, and
with the Farrah Fawcett
with the feathered haircut. Well, again, if you go back to that interview with John, and he always says that is the one character he's most embarrassed about. But it was interesting because when he originally went to create that character, he had actually had someone like Grace Jones in mind for the character. And so here it is. He started designing the character somewhat around the Grace Jones type of person. And then what happened was Marvel came back and said, no, we got to change this. And it just so happens that at that period of time, what was one of the hot movies and what ended up being one of the hot movie stars was 10.
Oh, yes.
Oh, with Bo Derek.
With the flowing blonde hair. And basically Marvel said, we want you to go with something like that. So he went from the Grace Jones gritty street type of look to the basically the pretty blonde, And he's told me, and he's told the story about how he really hated doing that because he felt it just didn't do the character justice. And I believe, from what I understand, Dazzler is supposed to be making an appearance in one of the Marvel films coming up.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I
don't know. It could be. Maybe in. I mean, probably is going to be. I'm thinking an X-Men movie, or maybe New Mutants, or something like that. Because that's more of the area that she came from character wise. But yeah, but that was John. Every time a fan breaks out that particular comic, he just kind of sits there and shakes his head.
Like, oh my god!
He goes, oh my god! I can't believe a fan actually liked this. And so it was funny. Sharon drove him nuts one time because Sharon actually walked up to him and put out not only issue 1 but put out 2 and 3.
Wow!
And she did it to have fun with them, to kind of goad him. And so he's kind of like, seriously, you want me to sign all 3 of these?
It's like, are you kidding me?
You know, he's going, I should be charging you triple to sign these things.
All right, so Chandler, what about you? What is your transitional character that you just saw the fashion just roll through?
Wolverine.
Good.
Okay,
I mean, you look at the differences in the costume that he's had.
Yeah.
And it's interesting is think about this. Think about the first X-Men movie when it came out in 2000. Where was Wolverine first encountered?
That was in Canada.
In a bar in Canada.
Yeah.
You know, what's he wearing? Blue jeans,
you know,
a white shirt.
Yeah. And then it was funny because I was watching what was it, X-Men? Was it First Class?
Okay.
X-Men First Class the other day, and it was funny because there was this scene where Beast had he had left the mansion. And he went to build the plane and everything, or he went to work on the plane. And this is after he went through his transition. You know, if you hadn't seen the movie, this is a spoiler. But in the movie, he was not Beast when he first gets introduced.
Yeah.
He basically is this guy who has a deformity.
Yeah.
But anyway, so in this, there's a scene where suddenly you have all the team members that they're at the mansion, they're looking for him, and he leaves a message, meet me at such and such place. He says, make sure you go into such and such room, which has what? It has the X-Men uniforms in it. And they look at it and they're like, seriously? We're supposed to wear these?
We're supposed to wear these skin-tight things? Are you kidding me?
But going back to Wolverine, so you saw that taking place. You saw him, when in the movies, when he first gets introduced in blue jeans and T-shirt and the whole bit. But obviously in the comics, it's he started that very first appearance. What was he in? He was in the yellow spandex with the black and everything else. And so that's the one character that comes to mind for me as to the changes in the costumes.
Yeah, I mean it's true. Like especially when it comes to movies, spandex doesn't really translate really well.
Nope.
And so they had to.
Well, it depends on what kind of movie you're watching.
But they had to think of a way to say, okay, well, it has to be skin tight because you have to show the form of a superhero. But at the same time, we have to have it functioning, and we have to make sure that it looks good. And so they went with the tight leather, which to me it looked really good. Like, with the big X on the chest, and it
was the black leather, right?
Yeah,
black leather with the yellow X.
Exactly. Yeah. But not only that, now you can sell it as merchandise, right? You can have a leather jacket. You can't sell, a 40-year-old guy like, oh, here, it's yellow spandex.
Oh, so yes, you can.
You never know.
You can sell it to like cosplayers and everything, but not for people that just go out and walk the malls.
This is true.
You'd be surprised.
So, but yeah, the fashion industry was actually taken back by like the fact that, wow, these people actually want Harley Quinn on their shirts. They want X-Men gear and all this kind of stuff. So, and
you can see a lot. You can see a lot of the stuff at like Hot Topic. Like
yeah,
man, I wanted to buy this leather jacket. It was a Nightwing jacket.
I remember.
Oh yeah,
Universal Studios.
Yeah, you were with me, and I was like, dude, I really want this jacket, and it was just cool looking because it was comic booky, but it didn't have that.
It didn't scream.
Well, it didn't scream comic book. It didn't scream like, look, I'm a nerd. It was more like, I'm cool.
It was so cool. It was such a cool jacket, but they didn't have my size. No, they didn't have my size.
Did you buy it?
Nah, no size. Didn't have the size.
Oh,
unfortunately.
But take a picture of it.
No.
I should
have.
But if you really look at it again, that mentality of this is really cool, and only nerdy people would know. The rest of the people would just be like, "Oh, dude, that's a cool leather jacket." Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So blending that together, now you got the fashion industry, and now you got merchandise.
Yep.
So,
and that leads us into our next topic. Chandler, what is your topic?
Well, being that you mentioned merchandising, that leads right into what I'm curious to see. You look at how the comic book industry has taken over the movie industry, but also look at how the comic book industry has taken over the merchandising industry as well. I mean, just like you were talking about clothes. I mean, my God, how many different variations of T-shirts of different characters do you see? And that are available in whether it's the box stores or whether it's the small niche stores or just comic book stores. There are so many different versions of each character. And from the fashion viewpoint, it's kind of like, you would see what would be a rendition of that yellow outfit with the black stripes on it, that we were kind of like, oh my God, I can't believe you're wearing that. And people are walking in the stores and they're like, it's printed on a T-shirt, so it shows the front of it on the T-shirt, and people are like, oh, I want that.
Yeah.
And it's and part of that kind of leads you to how powerful movies are, how it drives the buying public to want to buy stuff. Whether you're talking about T-shirts or you look at action figures today, you look at all the different products that now the big box stores are getting into, and I have to admit we experienced it kind of for the first time this year during Christmas. Normally during Christmas and at Celestial Comics we'd have a good December. This year we didn't have a very good December, and part of it is because a lot of people were walking in saying, oh, do you have such and such? It's like, no, we don't have that. It's only available at the box stores. And boom, they would bolt to wherever the box store is, because the box stores have been making arrangements with manufacturers saying, we're willing to order X amount of this, but we want exclusivity of that product for a period of time.
Explain what a box store is.
Target.
Okay.
Like whether you're talking about Target, you're talking about Sam's Club, you're talking about
Walmart.
I mean, those are the stores where you have a shopping center, and you'll usually have one, maybe two box stores that are what they refer to as the anchor stores. Those are the big stores at the shopping center.
Gotcha.
And then you have all the little small shops that are part of it. So, where Celestial is at, we don't have a box store, but actually across the street from us is, I think it might be a Target or something like that. Yeah. And, or whether it's a supermarket, supermarket would be kind of the same theory as far as what would be your anchor store. Mm-hmm. But yeah, box stores would be, like I said, the Target, the Walmart, etc. Yeah. And they have the buying power to be able to go to the manufacturers and say, we want that, or we want to create product with you, but we want the exclusivity to that product for X period of time.
Yeah. And perfect example. I had I went to Walmart and I picked up these hoodies. Mm-hmm. And the hoodies, okay, so I have Spider-Man, I have Captain America, and I had a Punisher one. And the Punisher one, I unfortunately don't have it anymore, but so I went looking for it. Tried to find it online. I could not find that hoodie.
No. Yeah.
And it was only at Walmart for like $12. Like I wanted that. That was like out of all three, that was my favorite one.
And you're saying it was no longer available at Walmart?
No longer.
It was no longer available.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
So what they did was they probably ordered a specific amount of those hoodies, and that was an exclusive order.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, like getting back to the merchandising and everything. For example, the influence on merchandising through movies, Aquaman was DC's most ridiculed property. Nobody liked Aquaman. Yeah, he
just talks to fish.
Right? He talks to fish and he rides a horse.
The fact is, Aquaman was a secondary character.
Yeah.
And an example of that in the Marvel universe would be Deadpool. Mm-hmm. Deadpool was a secondary character. Mm-hmm. You know, he was never meant to be a primary character in the Marvel universe, yet you look at Deadpool, has been probably one of Marvel's most endearing favorite characters in the movies as far as the general public reception. Aquaman, you know, same thing. Yeah. And you know, I give credit to James Wong, and I give huge credit to Jason Momoa, who is truly taking on that character and made the character part of him. Mm-hmm. And I was reading an interview where he talked about that, and he talked about how one of the reasons for it, and you know, it's funny because you look at what he did Conan, and Conan was you know, he so from a movie perspective, he really had not been all that successful. TV wise, you know, he obviously.
What do you have, like Hawaii Five? No, not Hawaii Five.
Baywatch.
Baywatch Hawaii. That's what it was.
Yeah, Baywatch Hawaii. He had North Shore.
There was Stargate.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. And Game of Thrones was probably, you know, one of his better characters where people had really embraced.
Yeah.
But with Aquaman, he says part of what made it so special to him is because it touched his roots.
Being a part of Hawaii and the ocean and everything.
Yeah, being Polynesian. Mm-hmm. He felt that character just was his calling.
Yeah,
it was his calling, and he completely embraced it. For, you know, if you haven't seen it, go on YouTube and Google Jason Momoa dancing, and you will see.
What's going on, guys? It's your man JQ with Geeked right here on DevTalk Radio. If you like what you see and you want to see more, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. We're going to try and get you content each and every week. Come catch us. We'll be right here. Peace out.